0, 1. Let's get started.
And a very good afternoon to you all, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Black and White United Show. I'm your host, Andreas. Thank you so much for tuning in with me this afternoon. In today's episode, we're just going to select our best or our starting 23 against Melbourne. It's my predicted 23. Obviously, the teams won't get announced until probably tomorrow. What's today? Tuesday, probably tomorrow night. The teams will be announced, which will be exciting. But this is who I would choose in our team. So I'm going to share the screen now for you guys to see. Okay, so I don't really have all the nicks and knacks of doing a custom one, so I'm using the Zero Hanger website for it. But nevertheless, let's just get straight to it. So in the back pocket, I'm going to put Isaac Quainer. If I can find him. Isaac Quainer. At fullback, I'm going to have Billy Frampton. Fine, Billy. There we go. And in the other back pocket, I am going to have Braden Maynard to do my back three there. At half back, I'm going to have Josh Dacos. At centre half back, we'll have Darcy Moore. Find Darcy. There he is. And in the other half back flank, welcome return to the man, the myth, the legend, Jeremy Howe. On the wing, I'm going to chuck in Dan Houston just to ruffle up some feathers and change things around. I was thinking about putting him in the middle, but I think the wing sort of suits him. Him and Josh off that wing there would just be amazing. I wouldn't put him on the other one there because you got Howe who can play as that interceptor and obviously push forward with a bit of run and carry as well. And obviously in the middle is the GOAT, Mr. Scott Pendlebury. And on the other wing, I am going to put Jack Crisp. Really want to see a big game from him against Melbourne. On the half forward line, I'm going to put here Jamie Elliott. And centre half forward, I will put, I'm going to put here, not Jamie Elliott. That's not what I had planned. I'm going to put down, I want to see Jamie play a bit more deeper. Where is he? I'll put in Lockie Schultz there. Centre half forward, I'll put here Brody Myercheck. I like Brody at centre half forward and then having McStay deeper into the goal square there. I think McStay's better trying to take a mark out like 25, 30 metres out directly in front. I think that's better, whereas Brody can sort of create that havoc on the half forward line. On the other half forward, I'm going to put Jordan De Goey. I want to see him spend the majority of his time up in the forward line and just decimate the Melbourne defence. I think he's going to have a big game this week, hopefully. So this game's got Jordan De Goey written all over it to, kick a few goals and, try and get 25 disposals and really just create some forward manic pressure, which I don't think Melbourne will be able to stop. In the forward pocket, I'm going to put Tim Membry. Full forward will be Dan McStay. I need a better program to do this, but this is what we've got. And then in the other forward pocket would obviously be Jamie Elliott. So that's my field. And then obviously in the ruck, we have Darcy Cameron. In the ruck, we'll have, it's pretty much a no contest here, but we'll have Nick Dacos in the middle. And then the other one in the middle, I would put down Steele side bottom. Now, on the bench, we are going to have Bo McCreary. Where are you? There you are. Bo McCreary starting off on the bench. I was sort of contemplating starting Bo on the half-forward flank and putting Schultz starting on the bench, but either way, they'll just come straight in for each other. So, which is fine. Both with that pressure, they'll probably both be on the field at the same time most of the game anyway. So I'll start Bo on the bench. Probably one of the most underrated players of our season is Harry Perryman, and I'm loving what he's bringing to the table. Doesn't get recognised every single week, but just does the job. I think he's probably even next year or year after. I think he's going to be the reincarnation of Jimmy Clement. So just does this the stuff that you don't notice all the time. And I've said this plenty of times before. Even if you're a non-Collingwood supporter and you got the hate towards us and stuff, go watch the 2023 preliminary final when he was playing for GWS, and have a look at some of the most important intercepts that he marking that he did, or getting the ball out of their defensive 50, and the amount of goals that he actually set up pushing forward. He does very similar to that now at Collingwood, and he just goes unnoticed sometimes, but I'm just loving what he's bringing to the table. The other one here, I'm giving him another shot this week, and that is Ned Long. He'll start off on the bench. And then I've got here Paddy Lipinski on the bench. Where is he? Patrick Lipinski. And then I will put down as my sub, which you can't see because it doesn't allow you to have the sub, but my sub will be Will Parker. I was sort of contemplating between Ned Long, Lipinski, and Parker to be a sub, but I'm pretty confident. I like what Parker brought to the table last week, and I think his injection into the game, if all goes well, preferably halfway through the third quarter or towards the 5 or 10 minute mark of the third quarter, if there's no injuries or there's no urgent structural changes that need to be made, you can inject him there. I really don't want to see Ed Allen come in, only for the fact that I don't want them to put him on the bench as a sub, and then again he only plays a couple of minutes of the game. That's not what I want to see. But Will Parker's game against Adelaide was fantastic, and I reckon moving into September, especially if we do get the win against Melbourne, I mean he's a lock in the side, I would have thought now. So that's my starting 23 against Melbourne this Friday night. So just to go over the back line, Isaac Quainer, Billy Frampton, Braden Maynard, Josh Dacos, Darcy Moore, and the return of Jeremy Howe. On the wing, Danny Houston, Pendles in the middle, Jack Crisp on the other wing, Lockie Schultz half forward flank, Brody Myercheck at centre half forward. The other half forward flank is Jordan De Goey, and the full forward line will be Tim Member in the pocket, McStay full forward, and Jamie Elliott in the other forward pocket. Darcy Cameron in the ruck, Nick Dacos in the middle, as well as still side bottom. Bo McCreary, Harry Perryman, Ned Long, and Pat Lipinski on the bench with Will Parker as the sub. Noticeable absentees in this one here. I can minimize this screen now. I do think that someone like a Mason Cox is going to be very close on getting the call up as well. Played a great game in the twos. Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning into my YouTube channel. Just a quick message out there. If you haven't already, could you please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel? It would mean the world. We're getting heaps of views. The traction's been really good. But yeah, we'd love to get the subscribers up. So if you haven't already, please hit the like button, subscribe, and you'll get your daily dose or your weekly dose of all things Collingwood for the fans from the stands. Call it as you see it. And as always, guys, go the Pies. And obviously with the ruck power that Melbourne's got with Max Gawn in the ruck, having someone else to pinch hit could be an option. But at the same time, I really don't want to see Will Parker miss. Ned Long's the only one that I can probably justify having a week off and bringing in Mason Cox, as well as Patrick Lipinski as well. But I just think that Melbourne have got a fair bit of running power through Petrarca, even though he's a bit slower now, but through Clary as well. And obviously Cosy Pickett tends to push in the midfield a fair bit too and create that pace that they need. So maybe we have to match him around the ground, and DC can hold his own. Obviously, with then McStay pinch hitting, it might pass, but it's going to be a tough call. I wouldn't want to be a Collingwood selector at the moment. Obviously, with the controversy surrounding Bobby Hill, I'd love to see him play, but I just don't think that he will, regardless if he gets through training or not. And that's just the vibe. That's no inside knowledge or anything this week or whatever. I knew that he wasn't going to play last week, but this week I was actually expecting him to play this week. But just judging by the vibes of the players and Fly's presser, I don't see it happening this week. But that's my starting 23 this week, 22 plus Parker as a sub for this week. It's not going to be correct. The Collingwood are going to make some changes again this week, unfortunately, but we have to. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, there's only the one change for Ed Allen for Jeremy Howe, but you just don't know what's going to happen. That's my team. Make sure you tell me what you think. Make sure you drop a comment. Call it as you see it. And before I sign off and forget, we have a massive episode tonight of the Share and Stand, which is going to be live on the YouTube channel. It's going to be me. It's going to be Dan. It's going to be Hatters. It's going to be massive. So 8:30 tonight on the YouTube channel. Please make sure you tune in. It's going to be crazy. And as always, go the Pies.